Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's. Um, Excuse me, I'm trying to do two things at once. Welcome to today to Crystal's Corner. How's that? I am Crystal Childs. I am a, a resident reader here at the Mystical Moon, and today I am talking about angels. So, those of you who are logged in and are watching, I'd like to welcome you. Um, And if you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about, or any psychic questions as well, please type them into the main room in the chat, and I will gladly answer them for you. Those of you who are watching on Ustream and would like to watch us live, every Friday at 1 o'clock, I do a show called Crystal's Corner, in which I talk about different topics. Last week was children's psychic development, or sensitive children, indigo children, crystal children, rainbow children. And the week prior to that, I spoke about palm reading. The week prior to that, I spoke about alchemical healing. So you can always look those up on Ustream if you missed them. Um, Also, if you log into themysticalmoon.ning.com, you'll be able to, and well, you have to become a member, but it's free, so no worries. And then you go to the Life on the Moon tab, and Life on the Moon has all of our shows there. So I offer Crystal's Corner on Fridays, but there's other shows throughout the week. There's Mystical Mind Tripping with Michelle. Lori has a couple of shows as well. She's the owner here at the Mystical Moon, for those of you who don't know. And we offer a variety of other things as well. For those of you who are not familiar with us, we are at 16301 South Tamiami Trail in Fort Myers, Florida. And the number here is 239 939 3339 if you'd like to make an appointment to see me. I'm here Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, or Lori, who's the owner, or any of the other readers here. So, again, welcome. And today's show is about angels and their roles. And again, if you have any questions, please log in to themysticalmoon.ning.com and you can ask the questions live. All right. The first angel that I want to talk about is Archangel Michael. I work with Archangel Michael every day. I really enjoy, actually, I just want to give you a little bit of background as to why I work with the angels. Back in, let me see, 2008, I was really, I was a teacher full time, and I had not opened up to my spirituality as I hadn't embraced it. I pretty much ignored some things and didn't didn't listen to my guides as well as I should have. And I was in a place where I really just needed to do a life review. And that's how I came into healing. I started doing Reiki healing. I got attuned to Reiki. I got attuned to alchemical healing, and in all of that procedure, I came across a couple of Doreen Virtue's classes that I did take, and I started learning about the angels. And some of those classes were really life changing for me. And learning about the angels and just reading the little books that Doreen Virtue has, they're like $7, but they're just chock full of information. And I'm talking about those little ones. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, the little ones, they're about maybe 70 to 100 pages long, and they really are chock full of information. And I started learning about the angels and the archangels and all of what their roles that help us as humans. And the more I worked with them, the more open I became as far as psychically open. My connection just strengthened. And for those of you who do know me, I've been, I know I've been psychic all my life. Looking back, it wasn't until I was in my 20s where a friend of mine told me that, you're psychic, right? And I didn't think of that. I just thought that what I did and what I knew, everybody knew. So it was very eye opening for me in my 20s, learning that that wasn't like that. The way I thought wasn't what everybody thought or felt. And in my 30s, I started opening up even more. And those of you who were watching The Real Psychics of Southwest Florida last night, we talked about our backgrounds and how we came into being psychic readers. And working with the angels really helped me open up to their their help and also to my psychic ability. And Archangel Michael was one of the first to come through for me. He's definitely the loudest. When I hear him or feel him, he is the biggest presence. He's the loudest. I hear him right here, and I don't know. I don't only hear him right here, but I feel him, and I the back of my neck lights up when he comes in, and I get very hot. As a matter of fact, just talking about him, like it's always cold in this room, and I'm very hot right now. Um, and he has a he. Some people say he has a fiery energy. Some older women who work with him, um, some women who are at menopausal age, I should say, who work with him, speak about how he has this fiery energy. And they think they're having a hot flash, but then they realize they're working with Archangel Michael. So that's very interesting as well. But when I tune into him, I just get this like I said, he a tingling at the back of my neck, and I know that he's there. Um, One of the things that I always teach my children and my clients as well is that Archangel Michael is the protector. So you can always call on him for protection, whether it's a particular moment where you're afraid or scared, or I've called on him when I see a car accident about to happen. I've called on him just numerous times. I talk to him every day. I call him in for my 2-year old son when it's bedtime, and I ask him to keep him protected while he sleeps because my older two were prone to night terrors, and before I remembered to call in Archangel Michael to protect him at night before he slept, he was having bad dreams as well, waking up screaming, and so as soon as he was about maybe a few months old, 6, 7 months old maybe, when I started calling in Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael and Archangel Metatron. But we'll talk about Archangel Raphael and Archangel Metatron a little bit later. Um, so Archangel Michael, he's the loudest. He's a protector. He, I've read a lot of stories about how he's told light workers. Those are people that are psychics or people that work to help heal others or bring spiritual truth to others. So I've heard how he's come to light workers and had them. Um, there's lots of stories, whether they were life threatening situations or just pick me up boost situation where Archangel Michael came to these people before they even knew about their calling. So that's also interesting about Archangel Michael. The other thing that Archangel Michael eh, does is he does electrical. He takes care of electrical and mechanical um, issues. So I've called on him, like we've had a microwave that would just turn off, turn on whenever it felt like it, or sometimes the keyboard didn't work on the microwave, and I just called on him to help fix it. And it would be funny because my husband or son would say, "Oh, the microwave's not working. We need to buy a new one." I'm like, "Oh, it's fine." I asked Archangel Michael to fix it, and sure enough, whenever I went to use it, the microwave would work because I just asked. That's one of the things also I'd like to mention about working with angels is that the God's law of free will says that they can't help us unless we ask. So ask away. And some people say, "Oh, that's what's the word I'm looking for? That's selfish or that's greedy." But they're they're here to help us. So there's no reason why you shouldn't ask. Um, And I know a lot of people are going to, not a lot, but some people might argue or disagree with what I just said. But honestly, it's unless you're sitting there saying, I want all the money in the world, or, that's selfish. But if you're asking for something for your highest and best good, then there, or maybe just a little help, like angels of parking, please help me find parking, or angels of test taking, please help me have all the answers to this test that I'm about to take, all the correct answers, I should say. That's not being greedy or selfish. It's just helping you on the path for your highest and best good. And that's one of the things that I always tell my clients as well, is be specific with what you're asking. I have lots of stories that are just really, really funny. I was reading somebody's blog one time about how she wanted to get rid of this lemon of a car. She had a car, it was a lemon, it was attracted to accidents, and she just wanted to get rid of it. So she talked to the angels about helping her to get rid of her car. And one night when her car was getting, her dog was barking, she looked outside, and the repo man was taking her car, and she started laughing. And the repo man's looking at her like she's crazy, but she said in her blog that at that point, she realized she asked for the car to be taken away, but she never asked for a replacement. So to her, that was just a aha moment as to why you should be specific. I have another example that's silly. I have a good friend of mine. We were friends from middle school, lost touch for about 20 or so odd years, and a few years ago we got back in touch with each other, thanks to social media, and we just started talking about, he didn't believe in any of the psychic stuff or the angels or any of that. And if it wasn't me talking to him about it, he'd still not believe in it. But he came down, he met my family, we all went to the beach, and it was a rainy, cloudy day, or it looked like it was going to rain. And he said, "Oh, it looks like we're going to have to cut our beach day short because it looks like it's going to rain." I said, "All you have to do is talk to the angels of weather and ask them for it not to rain." So about an hour later, um, he said, "Oh, well, so much for your angels. It's still cloudy." I said, "You asked for it not to rain. You didn't ask for sunshine." So, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right." So that's just some examples of being specific, and also having faith and just letting go and knowing it's going to be okay. Um, so let's see here. I talked about Archangel Michael for electrical and mechanical devices. I talked about, oh, he also helps with computers. As a matter of fact, yesterday we had Michelle's computer crashed at about 1 o'clock, and our Life on our Real Psychics of Southwest Florida show was supposed to start at 6:15. And she said, "I don't know if we're going to be able to do the show." And I said, "Sure, we will. Just call on Archangel Michael to help clear up any issues with your computer." And then we rebooted the computer. I looked at it, wouldn't even load. I looked at the system configurations and, what have you. She went to talk to Cheta about something, and she came back and she said, "Oh my goodness, how'd you get this to load?" And I said, "I didn't do it. Archangel Michael did." So he is the Archangel of electronics as well. Um, he also does space clearing and spirit releasement. One of the things I mentioned my 2 year old before is sometimes he'll see things that I won't, and sometimes it's in our home, and he'll just round the corner and stop and go, "Hi," and I tell him, "Okay, you need to call on Archangel Michael, and whoever that is, if they're not for our highest and best good, we need to ask Archangel Michael to send them to God." And it's funny because the first time that ever happened, the dog and the baby both looked. Their heads moved the same motion, and then the neighbor's dog started barking. So that was very interesting, but that was validation for me that it definitely worked, even if I didn't see it. And my 2 year old actually, because I work with the angels so much, um, he's very comfortable with them. The dog, he never got comfortable with the angels, but the 2 year old always, he's very, very. comfortable with him. As a matter of fact, I was lighting a candle the other day with the intention, with a certain intention, and I asked, the baby came in while I was doing so, and I said, "Oh, can you talk to the angels and ask them to help mommy's intention come to fruition?" And he said, "Angels, I love them." And I thought that was very, very sweet. So I know that he's being helped with them as well. The next angel is Archangel Raphael. And again, I work with Archangel. So these are the first couple are ones I work with every day. Um, as a healer and as a psychic, they help me with my connection. Archangel Raphael, as a matter of fact, he helps with clairvoyance. He helps with opening up that your physical sight as well as your spiritual sight. So for those of you who are building upon those skills, definitely call on Archangel Raphael to help open up your clairvoyance. And um, Archangel Raphael has this healing green emerald light. He's the Archangel of healing. Um, it, he's also the Archangel of travelers. For those of you who travel a lot, you can always call on him to help your trip go safely and smoothly. And let's see, and he's also a guide for lost pets. So if you ever have a pet that is lost, you can always call on Archangel Raphael to help guide your pet back home. And when I work with Archangel Raphael, I actually picture if I have, like, let's say my my knee is bothering me, or I have a cold in my chest, or my sinuses are clogged, I actually ask Archangel Raphael to help send his emerald green light through the area that's bothering me. And I actually picture it, the him pulling out the illness and filling it with emerald green light. And I use that when I'm working with my clients as well. I say a little prayer when I'm doing an energy healing. I call on Archangel. One of the angels that I call on is Archangel Raphael to help me with healing um, any body parts that are not working or not feeling well. And he also works with Archangel Michael with space clearing and spirit releasement. As a matter of fact, Archangel Raphael is mentioned in the Testament of Solomon, and it describes Archangel Raphael giving Solomon a ring. And those of you who are familiar with King Solomon's ring, as a matter of fact, in oh geez, in palm reading, if you have Solomon's ring, it's actually indicative of you being a good doctor. So that's interesting how the ring of Solomon came from Archangel Raphael, and that's what that means in the palm. So there's some nice little connections there. Let's see here. Oh, another neat information about King Solomon is King Solomon used that ring, which was I believe it was a six-pointed star ring, and he used it to help subdue demons. So that's another interesting note. And one of the things I mentioned, when Michael's there, it's like heat. You feel him. When Raphael's around, you might see sparkles of light or flashes of light. And an interesting thing about that is when a few years ago, my my husband Frank was in the hospital, and he almost died. He had diverticulitis, and his intestines split and adhered to his bladder. I know that's a lot of information, but his body went septic, and he was in the hospital. I was home asleep. The house was dark, and I kept seeing flashes of light in my bedroom. Now the lights were off. It was nighttime, and there was no way for, like, when somebody's pulling in the driveway, for the lights to shine into the room. There was no way for that to happen in my home, and it just kept happening all night. So finally, I just put the blanket up over my head, and I said, "I'm so glad that you guys are here, but I really need some sleep." So it was just nice to know that they were there. But if you ever have that happen, just know that there are angels around you, and that's what's going on. The next angel that I work with a lot is Archangel Metatron. And one of the reasons why I work with Archangel Metatron a lot is because he's the archangel of children. And I used to be a teacher in the public schools, and I would call on him a lot right before school started, and I would ask for calming energy for my students, and I would also put up Reiki symbols and all of that. And it was funny, one time the reading specialist came in and she said, "Your room is so calm." I said, "Yes, yes, I know. Thank you." But that was thanks to Archangel Metatron, and he has a clear white or yellow, brown, pink. Just depends on whatever color he comes into you as. And the gem associated, or the crystal associated with him, is the diamond. And so it's nice clear light basically with him. And he works with children a lot. I call on him all the time for either help with my own children or with children in my class. I teach a class here, psychic kids development. So I always ask him to be with my students to help them to be on their journey, on the path for their highest and best good. Um, let's see here. And Amanda, I see your question, and I will absolutely get to that one next. That's actually the next angel, so perfect timing. Archangel Metatron helps also with spiritual understanding. Sometimes you receive some symbols from him. A lot of people might get the spiral, or they might get the Merkaba. So he helps you with spiritual understanding, writing, and record keeping. So you can definitely call on Archangel Metatron. If you don't work with children, you can definitely get help from him with those aspects of life as well. One of the things that Archangel Metatron does specialize in is ADHD or ADD children. Um, it helps them to, well, he really helps them to either calm down or to um, uh, I guess ground is the word I'm looking for. So that's Archangel Metatron, and like one of the things that I do at night before, so I suggest this to people who have children that may be having a hard time sleeping at night. When my, like I mentioned earlier, when my baby was having a hard time sleeping, I was told or guided to say a different type of prayer for him at night. So what I started saying was Archangel. I called in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Metatron to keep him protected, to give him pleasant dreams, keep him protected through the night, to give him pleasant dreams, to help him sleep all the way until morning, and to keep him comfortable through the night, and if he had any illnesses, to help remove them from his body and replace it with God's loving light, and for his guardian angels to let him know that he's loved. And as I called in the angels, you could see his eyes just start looking, and that's how I confirmed that they were there and that they were helping him. The Amanda's question is there an angel I can call on to help me with fertility? So that's the perfect segue into the next angel, which is Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is actually the angel um, who told Mary that she was pregnant with Jesus. And Archangel Gabriel it's she's the messenger angel, and she helps to guide moms to be, or parents to be, who are having problems with getting pregnant, or being able to adopt, and helps parents who are worried about being parents. So Amanda, to answer your question, absolutely, Archangel Gabriel would be the angel to call upon for uh, for fertility. And one of the things that I would say would be, if it were me, I would say, Archangel Gabriel, please help me um, with my with conceiving a baby, and you can put in any words that you want, but basically, just ask and be specific. Um, the other thing that Archangel Gabriel is good for is people who are in art or communication or anything creative. There is, she's the Archangel of Action. I always say Archangel Gabriel. You know, actually, there's a song, I believe it's in Oklahoma, the musical Oklahoma, where they say, Gabriel, blow your horn. And that's basically about Archangel Gabriel blowing her horn to get you up off your butt and get you going to where you need to be. So that is definitely, she's called the Archangel of Action, or Archangel of, doing what you're really supposed to be doing and stop procrastinating. So if there's a project that you wanted to begin, you can always call on Archangel Gabriel to get you going with that. Creative writing, book writing, even. You could call on did I say Raphael last time? Archangel Gabriel to help you with that. And see, the last angel, holy cow, time flew by. The last angel that I'm talking about today is Archangel Uriel. And is, Archangel Uriel's name means God's light, and he's associated with um, lightning, thunder, natural disasters, and can help ease up a natural disaster, um, help pray for people who are suffering from the effects of a natural disaster or any earth changes. So that's what Archangel Uriel is known for. Also, Archangel Uriel is known for giving warnings. He warned Noah of the flood. He's also known for helping by giving prophetic messages and practical solutions, creative ahas. I like to say creative insights. Um, so that is Archangel Uriel, and he has a red light associated with him. So the those of you who like to work with stones or crystals, a lapis lazuli. This is a raw lapis lazuli here, so you can't really see the blue in it. But lapis lazuli is good with Archangel Michael. And then, oh, I'm sorry. This is an emerald. It's dark in here. This is an emerald. It's a raw emerald, so it's green. That's for working with Archangel Raphael. This is a lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. It's blue, and the lighting's not good in here, but maybe you can see it better than I can with the light from the computer. So this is good for Archangel Michael. And oh, excuse me, I mentioned the diamond being good with Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Gabriel is a danbarite, and we don't have any of those in the store right now for me to show you. But danbarite is good for Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Uriel is the ruby. So if there are not any more questions, I'm going to sign off for today. Thank you for joining me. And again, I'm at the Mystical Moon from on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and I do work with the angels. Actually, that's how I open my my readings, is with a archangel and an archangel deck. And so I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you for joining, Amanda, and watching and asking your question. And if you have any more, just um, ask away on my page on the Ning, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. Everybody else, you have a great day. Thank you.